testing 1, 2, 3. Sounds good to me. They say blood makes you family, but love made me a mother the moment I held the child I never birthed. Be right back.
I was searching in shadows, looking for love in low places. Every prayer felt unanswered, so I hid behind my faces. Built up these walls from rejection, wore shame like my second skin. Didn't know I was already protected before I let healing begin. Oh, but mercy met me in the midnight when I wasn't even reaching out. He whispered, "You are my beloved," before I ever had the doubt. I was covered before I knew I was chosen, held when I thought I was broken. Heaven had its hands all over me while I was questioning destiny. Oh, grace wrapped around what I kept frozen. I was loved when I felt the most lonely, covered before I knew I was chosen. I thought silence meant I was forsaken, thought stillness was a no, but God was in the waiting, and the breaking helped me grow. I called out with my last breath, He answered with the breath of life. Didn't see the angels guarding every tear I cried at night. And now I know storms don't mean I'm lost, they're just roads to resurrection. And I was never out of reach, I was the object of protection. I was covered before I knew I was chosen, held when I thought I was broken. Heaven had its hands all over me while I was wrestling with identity. Oh, love stood watch while I was dozing. I was loved when I felt the most lonely, covered before I knew I was chosen. Before the womb, before the name, before I ran, before the shame, He wrote my story in His hands, even when I couldn't boast. I was covered before I knew I was chosen. God kept me even when I was broken. Angels standing guard on every side while I was running from the light. Oh, He knew my end before my opening, and I was loved when I felt the most lonely, covered before I knew I was chosen. I didn't know it was His favor, didn't know that being lost just meant I was on my way to found. I didn't find God, He found me, hiding and covered me until I could finally believe Him.
I didn't give birth to him, but I was born to love him. Welcome to the Unorganized Chaos Network. I am the evangelist of entertainment. This is the Whosoever Will Zone. All are welcome here, especially if you're gay, straight, crippled, or crazy. Um, I saw Kirk Franklin on a video. I can't remember if it was YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, but on the video where he said the only difference between an abortion and adoption is that the adopted baby lives to know that he wasn't wanted. My heart broke. I love Kirk Franklin. I love his music. I know people don't like his antics and his dancing, but I love it. I would tell him to keep doing it. Don't bother me at all. Um, Now, I have 3 kings. My first 2 kings I gave birth to. I was once married to a man. As most of you know, I am a lesbian, out and proud lesbian who loves God and God loves me. But I was married to a man and had 2 kings. My third king, my wife and I adopted him. We adopted him from a mother who was not in a position to properly take care of him. My wife, during the middle of the adoption process, my wife found out she had pancreatic cancer and passed away from pancreatic cancer before the adoption was finalized. So, although I am grateful that I have a village of love and supporters to help me with my third king, I am his only legal parent. So, um, when I saw Kirk Franklin, he's so talented. I think he's so handsome and so funny, and I love his music. But this broke my heart. Now I don't know Kirk Franklin personally. I don't know the full story. I just want to talk about the quote that I heard him say that broke my heart to the point where I wanted to do a video about it, and I hope it encourages him. Uh, he said the only difference between an abortion and an adoption is that the adopted baby lives to know that he wasn't wanted. I found that to be powerful, provocative, and deeply emotional, but also deeply complex. And I want to unpack this with care and honesty and encouraging. There's a lot of pain behind those words. To me, it echoed a deep ache, a lifelong identity struggle many adoptees experience. It's not about condemning adoption or abortion outright. Now, I have no, as far as abortion rights, that's between you and God. I have no, I believe women have the right to choose whatever they want to do with their body for sure. But I'm not a for or against it. It don't, to be honest, it don't matter to me at all. It depends on them. I heard now I'm in Georgia. I heard that this mother, I don't know the full story. I don't watch news a lot. But every blue moon I take a peek. But this lady was, I believe she was brain dead or something like that, and she was pregnant, and they kept her alive just to give birth to a baby. I sort of have mixed feelings with that. I think that was cruel and inhumane. That's how I personally feel. I might be looking at it wrong. I'm just telling how I feel. But so I'm not here to condemn adoption or abortion, especially adoption, because adopting my third king saved my life. I mean, literally. I was going through hell. I lost my wife, my job, everything. Mental institution, traumatic brain injury, CPTSD, um, and I dealt with SI. But it's because of him, I believe, that I'm still here. Because I was like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Every blue moon, I still have those thoughts. Why am I here? But every time I'm around my third king, my king three, I don't have those feelings. He is my reason. And I know some of y'all might be looking at this spiritually and saying that's the devil. That's okay. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I'm speaking my truth on my channel, on my video, which is very therapeutic for me. So I can say what I want to say, do what I want to do, live how I want to live, pray how I want to pray. And anyway, um, but some people feel like the emotional reality for adoptees is like a second choice or a child left behind. Even in the most loving adoptive homes, the questions can linger. Why wasn't I kept? Was I ever truly wanted? It forces us to acknowledge the survivor isn't the same as healing. Adoption isn't automatically a happy ending. Kurt's words strip away their romanticism and shine light on the silence and stigma that can shadow adopted lives. Adoption is often painted as a better alternative, but better for whom? A child may grow up physically safe and provided for, but emotionally wounded. And I pray that this is not my third king experience. Um, Now, we had an open adoption, so he very well he know who his birth mother was, who his birth mother is. She comes to his birthday, so birth parties every year, so she sees him at least once a year. He can talk to her anytime he want to. We decided to make it an open adoption for one reason. Because in Cobb County they said you can do open and closed adoption. And all three of us got together before my wife passed away, me, her, and the birth mother. We decided, hey, how about we let King 3 make this decision? So we decided to keep it an open adoption. And then when he gets old enough, right now he's just 9. So the only thing he's worried about is Fortnite and Roblox. But when he get old enough and start asking questions, then I want to be able to say, well, he already know who is birth, but he'll know who he can call and contact to get those answers from whatever questions he may have. Because I would rather him get questions from his birth mother than me answering those questions on her behalf. If he does ask me questions about his birth mom, I just say she loved you so much that she wasn't able to provide for you the way she wanted to. So she decided to put you up for adoption to get a chance at a better life. And I normally just leave it like that. And I'm like, any other questions, he know to call her. Um, so I can understand that it might leave the adoptee emotionally wounded. And I pray by making the right decision. Time will tell when he gets older, I guess him, and let us know how he feel about being adopted. But he's very well aware I never wanted to lie to him or anything. Wanted to keep it up front, and I even got him children's books about it, so he know he was chosen on purpose. A lot of babies that are birthed, um, it wasn't planned, and it happens. So now they have a child. Well, like, and plus, like, we spent a lot of money on you. For real, I think it costs like 5,000 for the attorney, 5,000 for the agency, 5,000 for the county to come check your home out and stuff. I think it was by the time I got over, it was like 25 some thousand. I told him he owed me that, by the way. He owed me like 25,000 already. Okay, so I hope it don't leave him emotionally wounded. Some adoptees may feel abandoned and not rescued. Some birth parents wrestle with guilt forever. Some adoptive parents, though loving, can't erase the scars of loss. But being not wanted isn't the whole story. Let's be fair, not every adoption stems from rejection. Some birth parents make gut wrenching decisions out of love, safety, or survival. Some children are placed in hopes of offering them a life free of poverty, abuse, or instability. Now, my King 3 birth mother was literally homeless with 2 kids. And I happened to know King's 3 birth mother through through her mother. Her mother was a deacon at a church I used to go to. And that's how I knew about the birth mother, which was her daughter, that she was homeless and sleeping on somebody's couch with 2 kids and was pregnant and was trying to find a way to um, go the other direction. And my wife found out, and we decided, hey, you're a police officer, I'm a registered nurse. We have the means, the capability to do it. Let's do it. Um, so we did, and like I said, adopting him, I really believe saved my life. Um, I had no idea I was gonna go through everything that I went through, and I believe God knew what I would need to keep me here. So I'm grateful, very grateful for his birth mother. She's doing very well now, as far as I know. Doing, she was able to um, get her feet on the ground, and so I appreciate her for giving my King 3 and for her making the decision to give him love, safety, and survival. And he was placed in a very good home. And he's definitely free from poverty, abuse, or instability. If anything, he's too spoiled and got too much, um, which could be another issue that we're trying to get him out of. But many adoptees find healing, purpose, and deep bonds in their adoptive families. Perhaps a more compassionate reframe would be adoption is the story of love tangled with loss. Survival doesn't silence the sorrow, but it does leave space for redemption. Kirk Franklin's quote isn't just a gut punch, it's a conversation starter. Yeah, when I heard it, I don't even know how. So I think he has a new podcast. I don't know, but literally, I rewind it. I think I knew before then he was a doctor. I think I heard him say something before. But when he said it the way he said it, and I could feel it, it literally brought tears to my eyes. And I was like, why? And then bringing tears to my eyes, like, oh, why would he say so? I just felt bad for him because I was looking at him like my king three. I was like, I don't want my third king to feel that way. So it made my heart break for Kirk Franklin. Um, so I decided to make this video. Maybe my third king will see it one day. I don't know. Right now, he's not interested in my videos. He just interested in his, which is okay. He's 9 years old. I don't expect him to be. But if anything, maybe Kirk Franklin will see this. Maybe he'll see another way of looking at it. But I don't know the full story. But I just want to do some because I feel like this would be therapeutic for me at the least, and at the most, maybe Mr. Kirk Franklin would get something out of it. Um, but I feel like adoptees need better support. Birth parents, their choices aren't driven by shame or lack of resources. Um, Birth parents, some of them it is, but some of it isn't. It's for different reasons. I know a birth parent, a mother, because once you adopt a child, you become into this family and other groups with other parents who adopted their child or birth mothers. And so I happened to, not in person but online, meet this birth mother who found out that she was terminally ill at I think her third trimester and decided to put her child up for adoption. And she was reaching out because she didn't want to um, she didn't want her life to end without knowing that her child would be taken care of. I don't know the full story, just what I read in the book, but I pray everything went okay in that area. I believe adoptive parents need to honor their child's story, not rewrite it. Honor whatever your child's story is. Just honor it, not rewrite it. If your child say, "I came from Mars," I hear you. Okay, this is how was Mars. I know however they see their story. Don't try to, and then just question and get them to see it a different way. And eventually it'll work. It's worked for me. Um, Adoptees need to have access to therapy, truth, and affirmation. My third king is in therapy um, once a week for 1 hour. He's going to the fourth grade now. I've put him in, I've been in therapy since 2021, but I put him in therapy starting kindergarten. When he started school, I didn't know how people would react or how he would react. So I felt it was important and necessary. So his therapist has known him since kindergarten. He's had the same therapist since kindergarten. So for over 5 years, and they have a very good relationship, and it's very private. I don't know what he tells her. I don't know what she tells him. Uh, Sometimes he go in person. Sometimes he go by um, computer. Um, but I don't want to weaponize the quote. I want us to let it work for us. Let it make us pause before praising systems that break people quietly. Let it make us see the cost behind the choices. Let it move us to create a world where no child has to question their worth, no matter how they came into it. Dear Kirk Franklin, I saw a video of you recently. You said the only difference between an abortion and an adoption is that the adopted baby lives to know he wasn't wanted. Now, I apologize if it's a misquote, but that's how I heard it. So I don't mean any disrespect, but that's how I heard it. And it brought tears to my eyes, but not out of anger, out of remembrance, out of gratitude, out of the deep kind of love that only grief can teach. Because, see, I adopted my third king. He came into this world a twin. His sister transitioned just 6 hours after birth. And not long after that, my wife, his other mother, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. She passed away before the adoption was even finalized. So now it's just me, one mama, and one mighty king, and a village of love wrapped all around him. Yes, we have a lot of support. We really do. Yes, aunties, uncles, um, his godfathers, they're married, gay couple, um, very supportive. So, and of course, two older brothers. Oh, he's 9, but my two older sons are 25 and 27. So he has a lot of support, and he's the youngest in the entire family. So from grandmom on down, he's getting spoiled rotten, which is sort of starting to aggravate me because I'm starting to see how spoiled he really is. Um, so I've been taking him like, okay, we're gonna go feed the homeless because I want him to see how the world looks like on the other side of being spoiled. There's nothing wrong with spoiling anybody. Spoil your partner, spoil your wife, spoil your husband, spoil your mate, spoil your kids, but make sure that they know that, hey, it's more than to life than getting absolutely everything you want all the time. I don't see anything wrong. I think it's beautiful to be able to love your child in a way to get them whatever they want, as long as they're being good. But also make sure that they know, hey, there's some kids, if you want a brand new toy, you got to give one of your toys away to somebody else. You want some brand new shoes, you got to give a pair of your shoes away to somebody else. That's just how I do. But to Brother Kirk Franklin, I don't believe you was ever unwanted. I believe you were chosen, not by accident, not by blood, but on purpose. What would the church music world be like, seriously, today without Kirk Franklin? Kirk Franklin, you broke the mold. You brought music into the Christian, so called gospel Christian church world. And you opened doors for other people to do the same. That they felt. I remember when you came out, you said, do y'all think this is too much? I think it was your Stump song, I can't remember. In the Revolution. You are a gift to this world. You are not an accident. You are a purposeful gift to this world. Now, and I thank your birth mother. I thank her for being brave enough to say, let me give him a chance to live. Even if she didn't say that. Like I said, I don't know the full story. But at least somebody birthed you and you are here. So I am grateful for that person who birthed you, if that's all they did. Because without that person birthing you, we wouldn't have you. You wouldn't have us. And you wouldn't have your wonderful wife and children and grandchildren, if you have any grandchildren. Um, so I'm grateful. I just want to say thank you to whoever it was that birthed you. And certainly thank you to whoever it was that adopted you and raised you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. When I think about my third king, he is my sunshine, my rhythm, my season, my redemption. So if you ever feel like your words hit too hard, just know they landed somewhere holy. And from this mama's heart to yours, I just want to say the difference between having a child and adopting a child is this: biological children are born, adopted children are chosen, chosen with intention, chosen with prayer, chosen with tears, chosen with hope, and with a love that runs deeper than DNA. So keep talking, Mr. Franklin. Keep singing. Keep testifying. I don't know. Are you a pastor or minister? Please forgive me again if I'm not using correct titles. Um, I know you're a musician, singer, but if you're a preacher and minister, I apologize for not giving you your correct title. But keep talking, keep singing, keep testifying. But know that some of us out here, we're living proof that adoption isn't a consolation prize. It's a calling, it's a crown, and my king wears it well. He knows it. I call him my, well, before I even adopted my first two kings, I've always called them my King 1 and King 2. So he automatically became King 3 before he even knew what his real name was. So I've just always called my boys kings. And if I would have had a girl, his sister, unfortunately, he was born a twin. His sister went to Rosemary, unfortunately passed away 6 hours after birth. But she's my queen, my angel queen. But keep singing, keep testifying. But know that some of us out here, we're living proof that adoption isn't a consolation prize. It's a calling, it's a crown, and my king wears it well. Chosen on purpose with love. I was divinely assigned, not by biology, but by purpose. I didn't give birth to him, but my heart was made to hold him. My love is not secondhand, it is sacred, strong, and chosen on purpose. I am the mother he needs, and he is the miracle I was born to love. Turn in your Bible, if you will, to Esther 4 and 14. There within you will find these words, and who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. Esther 4 and 14. This verse speaks to divine purpose, how God positions us not by accident, but by assignment. You may not have given birth to him, but you were born for this moment, this love, this child. I was born for this moment, this birth, this child. There's this book I want to recommend. It's called Chosen with Purpose, a story of adoption, love, and identity by Ashley Danielle Preston. This heartfelt memoir explores the sacred bond between adoptive parents and a child, the spiritual calling behind chosen family, and the emotional highs and lows of raising a child born from someone else's womb but destined for your arms. It beautifully affirms that love makes a family, not biology. Born from the Heart by Berta Serrano. It's another book. It's a poetic, tender children's book written from the perspective of an adoptive mother. It's simple but incredibly profound, perfect for reading with your child and affirming your shared journey of purpose and love. Now, Mr. Kirk Franklin, I know you have children. I wonder, would you ever consider adopting a child? I don't know if you consider yourself, you know, uh, of a certain age where you're not trying to start over again, which is understandable. I was just curious if you ever considered adopting a child yourself. I was just curious. I would like to recommend a movie. It's called Life Mark. Life Mark. It's a deeply moving Christian drama based on a true story. Life Mark tells the journey of a young man whose birth mother nearly aborted him, but instead chose to give him life through adoption. Years later, he reconnects with her, exploring themes of love, purpose, and chosen family. The film powerfully affirms that adoption isn't a second best, it's a destiny, born from love and decision. Also, if you get a chance, watch Martian Child. It's a heartwarming story about a single dad raising an adopted boy who believes he's from Mars. It captures the tender, sometimes challenging journey of choosing to love no matter what. These films all reflect deep affirmations of chosen love, of being born to love. You were simply born just for somebody to love. And I hope you receive that. And you were simply born to give love, to write love, to sing love, to dance to love, to make people make love through your music, if that's possible. I've personally never made love by listening to the gospel, but I don't know where that thought come out. Just charge it to my traumatic brain injury. But born to love rather than merely biologically bound, they'll resonate with your truth and offer potent storytelling you can lean into during your video. When I Found You by Patrice Rushen. It's a song. It's called When I Found You by Patrice Rushen. This soul stirring ballad captures the feeling of discovering a love so deep, so undeniable, that it feels preordained. Though often used as a romantic love song, its lyrics take on new meaning in the context of adoption. When I found you, I found somebody who cares. When I found you, I found my most intimate prayer. It's an anthem of divine alignment, which is exactly what adoption often is, a prayer answer in the form of a person. Can I give you some other songs? Call It Home by Melissa Etheridge. Call It Home. It was written for her children. This song is a raw, beautiful declaration of chosen love and non-traditional family. A Mother's Prayer by Celine Dion. Now, Melissa Etheridge is in the LGBTQIA community too, as far as I know last week. Now, Mr. Kirk Franklin, I have no idea how you feel about the alphabet community. I know you're a gospel singer, but I'm here in my full authentic self truth. If you can't accept anything I'm saying just because of who I am, I don't hold that against you. I understand everybody has the right to believe what they believe, but I'm still making this video because it's therapeutic for me, and I don't even know if you'll ever see it, but your words touch me, so I'm making the video. A Mother's Prayer by Celine Dion, tender and timeless. This song captures the heart of a parent lifting up their child in faith, regardless of how that child came into their life. Chosen by Beautiful Chorus. Now, Mr. Kirk Franklin, I love the Beautiful Chorus. All of their songs are about affirmations. They're literally one of my favorite singing groups. I literally listen to them every day. I have a whole playlist for Beautiful Chorus, Tony Jones, and of course Jill Scott, and I love India. But Beautiful Chorus, one of my favorite singing groups. Chosen by Beautiful Chorus is a gentle, affirming track full of love, peace, and the kind of spiritual calm that adoption stories carry. And here's a quote by Flora Conkling Hagelin, an American poet and adoption advocate. Not flesh of my flesh, nor bone of my bone, but still miraculously my own. Never forget for a single minute you didn't grow under my heart, but in it. I think that's beautiful. Dear God, thank you for the divine assignment of motherhood. Not bound by blood, but blessed by your perfect will. You saw fit to place this child in my arms, not by chance, but by choice, not through my womb, but through my heart. I didn't give birth to him, but you birthed the love in me before I ever knew his name. Thank you for trusting me with his life, his laughter, his healing, his purpose. Thank you for the strength to mother through loss and to grace to lead with love. Where his story began in pain, let our bond write pages of joy, hope, wholeness, and holy restoration. Cover every gap I cannot fill, heal every hurt I cannot see, and remind him daily, not just with my words, but with my life, that he is chosen, cherished, and divinely loved. May our journey be a living testimony that family isn't always made by flesh, but by favor, faith, and fierce unconditional love. In Jesus' name, amen. Why do folks think the only way to be a mama is through labor pains, stretch marks, and that baby powder cry? Birthing a child don't make you a mother. Some people birth bills and bounce. Let's talk about it. Now here's a bold claim to ruffle some lace fronts and dust off some judgment. I didn't give birth to him, but God gave birth to me when he gave me him. I didn't give birth to him, but God gave birth to me when he gave me him. Let that marinate in your spirit like oxtails on Sunday. Think about it. Chosen love hits different. Adoption ain't abandonment, it's alignment. Motherhood isn't biology, it's bold obedience. Society got this wild idea like if you ain't got matching DNA, you just playing house. Oh, really? Well, let's talk about Mary then, the mother of Jesus. She ain't lay with Joseph to conceive Jesus, but she still raised salvation with sandals and a sidearm. Over 135,000 children are adopted in the U.S. every year. That's not Plan B. That's divine placement A1. So when folks say, oh, he ain't your real child, I say, and that ain't your real business, Karen. But if love ain't in the blood, then where is it? Chosen love ain't lesser, it's louder. Let's talk about being chosen. Adopted children don't have to wonder if they are wanted. They were picked on purpose with paperwork, prayers, and possibly peanut butter snacks in the back seat of a courthouse. I'll call that intentional parenting. Biological, that can be accidental. Adoption, that's covenant. Now let's do a little role reversal. Imagine being a child who grows up hearing you were selected to be loved. You were fought for, not just delivered. You were the answered prayer, not the surprise. That's a legacy. That's purpose wrapped in pampers. And yet some folks still act like adoption is charity instead of choice. Let's keep it real. Some folks will throw shade when your family don't look traditional. They'll ask, so where his real mom at? Right here, in a do-rag with receipts and custody papers. Let me add some credibility. Oprah was adopted. Faith Hill was adopted. Colin Kaepernick, yep, he was adopted. Sure was. And I bet not a soul asked their mamas for a maternity test when they showed up with discipline, dinner, and drinks. Because mamas show up, period. Still think motherhood comes through labor alone? The labor didn't start in the hospital. It started when I said yes. I was born to love him. Now here's the twist that flipped my entire life. I thought I was adopting him, but it was really he who adopted me. When I lost my wife, his other mother, and buried his twin sister just hours after birth, I looked at this child and saw heaven blink at me. I was grieving, broken, confused, but every time I held him, I remembered who I was, a mother, not a babysitter, not a stand in, not a runner up, a mother, born for this. So when I say I didn't give birth to him, what I mean is I gave birth to the best version of me because of him. That I preach. I gave birth to the best version of me because of him. What do you think motherhood looks like? It ain't always what it is. You'll never understand unless you push a child out. But how many push them out and still push them aside? Motherhood ain't about the 9 months, it's about the next 90 years. Think about that. It's about showing up when it's hard. It's about rocking babies and rocking courtrooms. It's about healing trauma with oatmeal and hugs. Sometimes the strongest biblical cord is made of prayer, perseverance, and patience. So if love is the requirement and grace is the glue, why are we still gatekeeping motherhood? Let me make it plain. If you chose a child, you are divine. If you stepped in when someone else stepped out, you're a hero. If you love a child that didn't come from you, but came for you, then you were born to love them. That's it. That's the post. You are not less than. You are not trying. You are not playing mommy. You are walking in purpose, in boldness, and in love so loud it silences every whisper that says otherwise. So I say it once and I say it loud enough for the angels and the ancestors. I didn't give birth to him, but I was born to love him. That ain't a disclaimer, that's a declaration. And if you feel me, drop a yes ma'am in the comments. Because family isn't just who you come from, it's who you show up for. If this hit your soul like a praise break in the parking lot, do three things. Like this video if you know love goes deeper than DNA. Comment below and tell me how chosen love showed up in your life. Subscribe to the Unorganized Chaos Network where we birth breakthroughs, not just babies. To adopt is not to rescue, it's to recognize royalty before the crown is even visible. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, watching, subscribing, and turn on that notification button. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. Do me a favor and share this with at least 4 different people. You're more than likely to become like the 4 people you hang around the most. Thank you so much for subscribing. I hope all hearts and minds are clear. Let's go govern ourselves accordingly.
I was searching in shadows, looking for love in low places. Every prayer felt unanswered, so I hid behind my faces. Built up these walls from rejection, wore shame like my second skin. Didn't know I was already protected before I let healing begin. Oh, but mercy met me in the midnight when I wasn't even reaching out. He whispered, "You are my beloved," before I ever had the doubt. I was covered before I knew I was chosen, held when I thought I was broken. Heaven had its hands all over me while I was questioning destiny. Oh, grace wrapped around what I kept frozen. I was loved when I felt the most lonely, covered before I knew I was chosen. I thought silence meant I was forsaken, thought stillness was a no. But God was in the waiting, and the breaking helped me grow. I called out with my last breath, He answered with the breath of life. Didn't see the angels guarding every tear I cried at night. And now I know storms don't mean I'm lost, they're just roads to resurrection. And I was never out of reach, I was the object of protection. I was covered before I knew I was chosen, held when I thought I was broken. Heaven had its hands all over me while I was wrestling with identity. Oh, love stood watch while I was dozing. I was loved when I felt the most lonely, covered before I knew I was chosen. Before the womb, before the name, before I ran, before the shame. He wrote my story in His hands, even when I couldn't boast. I was covered before I knew I was chosen. God kept me even when I was broken. Angels standing guard on every side while I was running from the light. Just meant I was on my way to found. I didn't find God, He found me, hiding and covered me until I could finally believe Him.